Hi, it's Teri with an all levels mini flow class using blocks. Blocks are different placements. They can be at the lower, the middle, or the higher setting. I will be offering suggestions throughout this little mini flow. Feel free to skip your vinyasas during this practice, but pay attention to where you're placing the blocks. And these are not used necessarily for a restorative position, but it's to help you refine your poses. It's to help you find a little bit more of a commitment to the particular shape that you're creating and to breathe into it. And perhaps you might even come into a pose that has been eluding you for a while. So let's just start first getting sitting on your heels. You can place a block width distance apart, place it between your ankles, supported hero pose, and hug the outside edges of the block with the insides of your ankles. Make sure all 10 toenails are on the floor. You can place the other block just at the tops of your mats. Just bring your hands to your knees. Notice that you can get a little bit higher sitting down with the shoulders softening, sitting on the block. Close your eyes. Take a few moments just to settle in, to prepare yourself for your practice. Breathe in, pull the shoulders forward and up. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Again, shoulders pull forward and up. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Sit up a little bit taller. Feel the firmness and the support of the sitting bones on the block. Breath in, shoulders pull forward and up. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Lightly opening your eyes, breathing in and out through your nose. Come onto your knees. Take the block, place it between your thighs. Squeeze the block with the insides of your thighs as if you're trying to jut the block behind you. That's an internal rotation of your hips. So that gives you a little bit more space in your lower back. Hands right underneath your shoulders. Take a breath in, coming through a cow position. Draw your head, tilt your tailbone. Continue to squeeze the inner thighs towards the block, and exhale, round the spine and let your head and neck relax to cat. Again, inhale, draw the chest to the shoulders. Keep your arms nice and straight. Tilt the head, tilt the tailbone. Exhale, curl the spine towards the ceiling. One more round. Inhale, slide the chest forward, look up, tilt the tailbone. Exhale into your cat position. Lower the head and belly, pulls in. Come back to center. Set the other block about around where your hands are. At the mid-setting, actually at the mid-setting, yes, right here. Okay? Step back into a high plank position. Continue to squeeze the thigh with your block as if you're trying to jut now the block up towards the ceiling. Notice how that gets a little bit more engagement in your thighs. Press into your hands and pulling your chest forward. Hug the belly in, support the lower back. Staying here for another 2. Continue to squeeze the block that engages the legs even more. Feel them brighten up. Another breath. First round, lower your knees. Bend your elbows against the side body. Have the block just kiss the space between your shoulders. Inhale, press right back up. Again, exhale, lower down, elbow skim against the side body. Come onto the tops of your feet into an upward facing dog, lifting the thighs. Keep squeezing the block together. In your up dog, notice how when you pull your shoulders back and you're squeezing the insides, the thighs into the block, you aren't rolling your ankles out. They're actually rolling in, which is the proper alignment. Press down, lift up. As you exhale, downward facing dog, sending the hips nice into high. Continue to squeeze the block with your thighs. Continue to firm weight into the hands, sending the hip bones high, drawing your chest towards your thighs as if you're trying to jut the block behind you. Staying here for another breath. Let your head and neck hang heavily. On your next inhalation, come into your high plank position. Feel free to lower your knees like before, or exhale, come through your Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Elbow skim the side body. Have the breastbone just lightly touch the block. Come onto the tops of the feet for your upward facing dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Breathing here in your down dog for another 3. Breath in and out for 2. And 1. You can release the block away from your thighs. Place the blocks at the tops of your mats. Take an inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or jump lightly to the top of your mat. Take the hands to the tops of the blocks at the highest setting. Take a breath in. Pull your chest forward, shoulders back. As you exhale, bow it down for forward fold, Uttanasana, chest to thighs. Again, inhale to lengthen. Notice when the fingertips are on the block, you can actually pull your chest forward, rock your way forward a little bit more, and lengthen your legs with a nice long spine. Exhale, bow it down, hug the belly in, let the head and neck drop down. One more time, inhale to lengthen, chest pulls forward. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Take one of the blocks between your thighs again, squeeze the block with your thighs, bend into your knees a little bit or a lot to slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. Keep squeezing the block with your thighs. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastitihi, equal standing. Notice if you try to draw the block towards the front of the room, you'll start to crunch into your lower back. Start to clench your glutes. Do the opposite. Pull the inner thighs as if you're trying to draw the block behind you, and you get a little bit more space behind your back. Inhale, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hinge down for a forward fold. Take a breath in to lengthen. As you exhale, bend your knees deeply, Utkatasana. Same thing in the legs. You're squeezing the thighs into the block. Send your hips down a little bit lower. Keep squeezing the insides of the thighs to the blocks. That confirms your outer hips in towards midline. Draw the sternum up towards the collarbone. Sit down a little bit lower. Take another breath in. Big reach up. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Take the block away from your thighs. Blocks back of the mat at the top, at the highest setting. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale, hinge for a forward fold. Breath in to lengthen. Come onto your fingertips. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Keep the right heel lifted nice and high, low runner's lunge. Blocks can come by your foot. Press into your left foot to hug your left hip back. Lengthen the chest. Notice how you can use the hands on the block to help you pull your chest forward. So it's not to collapse, it's really to help you, assist you into drawing your chest forward. Press into your left heel to pull your left hip back. Hips are staying nice and aligned together. Another breath in. As you exhale, keep your right heel lifted high, pyramid pose. You can bring the hands back towards your ankles. Take a breath in to lengthen, come onto your fingertips. Squeeze the inner thighs, scissor your thighs. Left hip pulls back, right hip forward. Bow the chest over your thigh. Staying here for another breath. Continue to press weight into your left foot to pull the left hip back. Right hip slides forward and down. Walk your blocks a little bit farther ahead. Then into your left knee. You can dip the hips down, look up. Exhale, pyramid. Press into your left foot, pull your left hip back. One more round. Inhale, bend into your left knee. Glide the chest forward, sink the lower body. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Scissor the inner thighs. Breath in, back to center. As you exhale, step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, come onto your fingertips, lengthen, chest pulls forward. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Another breath in to lengthen. As you exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Left heel nice and high. Press into your right foot, bring the blocks a little bit farther back. Lengthen your left leg. Think of plank position where the left thigh is drawing up towards the hamstrings. You can come onto your fingertips, pulling the chest forward. Continue to squeeze the hips together. Take another inhale. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Pyramid pose. You can even walk the blocks back. Press into your right big toe mound. Pull the right thigh bone back into the hip socket. Swing the outer thigh back to midline. Bow your chest over your thigh. Breath in, lengthen. Breath out, fold. On your next inhalation, bend into your right knee. Bring your blocks forward, sink the hips, look up. Exhale, pyramid pose. Bring the blocks back. One more round. Inhale, bend into your right knee. Dip the lower body, lift the upper body up. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale, come back to center. Place the blocks at the lowest setting, hands on the blocks. Step to a downward facing dog. This might feel a little bit awkward, but you get a little sense of the space that you can create between your shoulder blades at the base of your neck, the tops of your shoulders. Breathe in and breathe out, heels settle more to the floor. On your next inhalation, come into a high plank position. Exhale, lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Remember, you want to have your forearms parallel to the floor as if the block were right at your chest. Inhale for an up dog, Adho Mukha. A lot more space now. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take a breath in and let it go. Leave your hands on the blocks. Inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees and gently launch your way right to the top of the mat. Might be easier this time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Rise on the breath in, arms reach overhead, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastitihi, equal standing. Bring your arms down by your sides for mountain pose. Inhale, shoulders pull forward and up. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Inhale, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hinge down for forward fold. Take an in-breath to lengthen. Exhale, your left foot to the back of the mat. Lower your heel to the floor, warrior one, but stay low first. Hands can come under the blocks. Press into your right foot to pull your right hip back. Make sure you have a long back left leg. Palms reach to the outside of the block. Bring the block overhead. Sink the hips nice and low. Pull your left hip forward, right hip pulls back. Take a breath in, feel the ribs lift up. Exhale, bend your elbows. Tap your shoulder blades with the block. Inhale, back up. Exhale, behind you, bend your elbows. One more time, inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, lift up. Settle the block to the floor. Hands to the floor. Swing your right leg back behind you, down dog split. Bend your right knee, fan your hip open just because it feels really good to open up your hip. Press into your hands, draw the chest towards your left thigh. Roll open a bit more, draw your knee up towards the ceiling. Stay here for another breath. As you exhale, step your right foot to the top of the mat, right to between your hands. Place your left heel to the floor. Take the right block outside of your right leg. You might want to lengthen your stance a bit into extended side angle, just open up. Continue to hug the outside of your right leg to the inside of your right arm. Sink the hips nice and low. Bring your left arm by your ear and look over underneath your shoulder. You have a nice long line of energy from your fingertips all the way to the outer edge of your foot. Roll the chest up towards the ceiling, but your hand is on the block, again, merely to draw the chest forward a little bit more. Pull your right ribs towards me and lean back. Stay here for another breath. Warrior two. Deep bend in your right knee, long back leg, and there you are. Keep sinking a little bit more deeply. Soften your shoulders, reach the arms brightly out side to side. Flip your right palm, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands. Take it through your vinyasa, or just skip it. High plank to low plank, elbows skim the side body. Inhale, pull forward and up dog, shoulders back. Exhale, hips are high, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump lightly to the top of your mat. Breath in, lengthen chest forward. Breath out, bow down, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest. Samastitihi, equal standing. Breath in, big sweep up. Exhale, hinge down for a forward fold. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale, step your left foot back there to the back of the mat. Place your heel to the floor at an angle. Keep a deep bend in your left knee and hug your left hip back. Grab a block, grab the outside edges of the block. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Sink the hips nice and low. Pull your right hip forward, pull your left hip back. Keep the lower body where it is. Lift the ribs up away from the back waist as you breathe in, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows and lightly tap your shoulder blades. Inhale, back up. Exhale, squeeze the block with your palms, engage your arms. One more time, inhale, lift up. Exhale to bend. Inhale, up. Place the block to the floor, hands to the floor. Come behind the ball of your right foot, send your left leg long back behind you. Bend your left knee, yawn it open. Press into your left hand, get a little bit more length from the knee all the way to your shoulder and your fingers. Press into your right hand, get more pull from your right hip back. Open up a little bit more as you breathe in. Exhale, square it off, extend the leg. Step the left foot between your hands at the top of your mat. Place your block at the highest setting outside your left ankle. Place your right heel to the floor. Open up into an extended side angle. Right arm can kiss your ear, reaching forward. Don't collapse into the hips though. You're pressing into your left hand to get a little bit more length, a little bit more assist of your left ribs towards your left knee. Roll the ribs up towards the ceiling, relax and soften into your shoulder. Breathing here in Utthita Padasvakonasana for another 2. And 1. Into your warrior 2, bring your way up. Deep, deep bend in the front knee, long back leg, relax your shoulders. Maybe there's a little bit more sinking of the hips. Take another breath. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior, reach back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands, plant your hands to the top of your mat. Either vinyasa or just a down dog, vinyasa, high plank, through to low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward and up, up dog, shoulders back. Exhale, hips are high, down dog, Adho Mukha. Take a few breaths here, breathing in and out through your nose. Push away from the floor with the hands. The echo of the block is between your thighs, as if you're trying to draw the insides of your thighs towards one another, the outsides of the backs of the thighs up towards the ceiling. Take another breath in and a breath out. On your next inhalation, raise your right leg behind you, 3-limb dog. As you exhale, step your right foot to the top of the mat. Place your left heel to the floor. Straighten your right leg. You can have your hands on the blocks. Pull your right hip back, pyramid pose. Press weight into the outer border of your back foot. Swing your left hip forward. Hips are nice and level. Stay exactly in this pose in the lower body. Right hand outside of your right leg, a little bit more towards your knee. Place your left hand to your left hip. Open up into triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. Rolling the inside of your thigh towards your face. Using your right hand on the block, onto your fingertips even, to get more length in the right side waist. And twist open even more. Notice how you can scissor your inner thighs a little bit more with this support. You can lengthen a bit more when you breathe in. Find a bit more twist when you breathe out. Stay in this shape, left hand to left hip. Bend into your right knee. Bring your hand on the block in front of you for half moon rising, Ardha Chandrasana. You can come onto the palm, you can come onto your fingertips. Continue to pull your right chest towards the front of the room. Continue to open up, drawing your left arm overhead. Breathing here for another breath. Bend, bend, bend into your right standing leg, into your warrior 2. Flip your right palm, reverse your triangle, straighten your right leg, reach back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands, plant your palms, and take it through your vinyasa, high plank to low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up, up dog. Exhale, hips are high, down dog. Take a breath in and let it out. Other side, raise your left leg behind you, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, step your left foot to the top of the mat between your hands, place your right heel to the floor. Hands to the blocks, straighten your left leg, press into the left big toe mound, pull the left hip back, roll your right hip forward and down. Take an inhale, bow it down. Left hand underneath your left shoulder, right hand to right hip, lengthen to breathe in, continue to hug your left hip back. Roll the right chest open. Right arm reaches overhead. Continue to pull the left thigh bone back into the hip socket. You can come even onto your left fingertips to lengthen into the left side waist. Find a little bit more of a rotation, the rib basket around the spine. Stay here in Utthita Trikonasana for another 2. Roll open a little bit more. Lift up as you press down. Bend into your left knee, right hand to right hip. Left hand in front of your left toes. Find your half moon rising, Ardha Chandrasana. Gradually finding your way up. Right leg is long. Right arm reaches overhead. And breathe, drawing the left chest forward. Open up, lift up. Another breath. Bend, bend, bend into your left standing leg. Come back into your warrior 2. Straighten your front leg, parallel your feet. Place the blocks at the highest setting underneath your shoulders. When you breathe in and lengthen, come onto your fingertips, pull your chest forward, and then start to bow it down. Inhale to lengthen, rock your way towards the balls of the feet. Belly's engaged, chest pulls forward. Exhale, bow it down. Place the left hand at the lowest setting of the block underneath your shoulder. Right hand to lower back. Make sure your hips are nice and level. Use the presence of the pressure of the left hand on the block to draw your chest forward even more. Continue to pull your left hip back. Twist towards the right, draw your right arm overhead. Every time you press into your hand, get a little bit more length from the shoulder to the hip. Find more opportunity to twist. Another breath here. Come back to center, replace your left hand with your right hand. Left hand to the lower back. Breathe in to lengthen first. Initiate the twist with the center of the spine as you twist to the left. Left arm reaches overhead. Breath in, draw the crown of the head away from your body. Exhale, twist a little bit more. One more breath. Slowly unwind yourselves. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale, bend into your left knee, spin around to face the top of your mat. Hands to the floor. Step from high plank to low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Open your mouths, exhale, let it go. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more round of breath in. And a breath out. On your next inhalation, raise your right leg behind you. Step your right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel is nice and high. Block underneath your left shoulder at the highest setting. It can actually be at the mid setting, whatever's good for you. Press into your right foot to pull your right hip back, lengthen your left leg. Right arm reaches out to the side, twist open towards your right. Notice how as you press into the hand, you get a little bit more of a lift up out of the left shoulder. Pull your left chest towards the front of the room. Draw the chest towards the inner thigh of the right leg and reach up. Level off your hips a little bit more. The pressure of your hand on the block allows you to gain even more length and extension, more room to twist. Come back to center, lower your left knee to the floor. You can sink the hips nice and low. Exhale, half split. You can even bring the blocks back with you. Inhale, bend into your right knee. Draw the chest forward. Exhale, straighten your right leg, send your right hip back. Inhale, glide it forward. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Staying here, take a block. Place it outside of your right leg. The highest setting might be the best with your left hand on the block. Bring your right hand to your right hip and open up into a modified revolved triangle. You continue to pull your right hip back. Press into your left hand to draw the left chest towards the front of the room. Find more spin. Stay here for another breath. Return back to center. Bend back into your right knee, hands to the floor. Step from high plank to low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up, up dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. On your next inhalation, raise your left leg behind you, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step your left foot to the top of the mat for a low runner's lunge. Press into your left foot to hug the left hip back. Lengthen your right leg, block underneath your right arm. Left hand to left hip to pull your left hip back. Don't collapse into your right shoulder. Pull your chest forward. Feel a long line of energy from your heel all the way to the crown of your head. Left arm out to the left, find your twist. Continue to squeeze the inner thighs by pulling your left hip back. Right leg is long and firm. Press into your right hand. Get a little bit more of a lift up. You'll find a lot more opportunity to twist. One more breath in. Find your twist. Come back to center. Drop your right knee, sink the hips low. You can always use the support of the blocks. As you exhale, straighten your left leg. Half split pose, Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, bend into your left knee, glide it forward and look up. Exhale, straighten your left leg, hips back. One more time, inhale, glide it forward, sink the hips, look up. Exhale, straighten your left leg, pull your left hip back, place the block outside of your left leg. Right hand to the block, left hip pulls back. Twist open towards the left into a modified Parivrtta Trikonasana. Lengthen the chest forward, spin the ribs around the spine, look over your left shoulder. Continue to pull your left hip back. Lengthen one more breath in, right chest towards right shoulder, and twist. Slowly unwind yourselves, bend into your left knee. Draw your way forward, tuck your back toes. Optional vinyasa, stepping into a high plank, lowering down through low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward and up dog, shoulders back. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take a breath in and let it go. Another inhale and an exhale. On your next breath, raise your right leg behind you, three-legged dog. Step your right foot to the top of the mat to your right thumb. Place your left heel to the floor. Place the block outside of your right ankle. Left hand to the block, pull your right hip back. Raise your right arm overhead. Parivrtta Parsvakonasana, revolve side angle. Continue to hug your right hip back. Lengthen the left chest forward and spin around just a bit more. Breathe here for another breath in, lengthen, breath out to twist. Come back to center. Take it through your vinyasa, high plank to low plank. Just skip it if you'd like. Inhale, pull forward and up dog, shoulders back. Exhale, hips are high, down dog, Adho Mukha. Take a breath in and let it go. On your next inhale, raise your left leg behind you, three-limb dog. Step your left foot to the top of the mat. Place the block outside of your left ankle. Right hand to the block. Lower your back heel to the floor at an angle. Left hand to left hip to pull the left hip back. Lengthen the right chest to the front of the room. Raise your left arm overhead. Perhaps even draw your left arm by your ear. Notice you can still lengthen it a little bit more by maybe even coming onto your fingertips. Roll the right ribs to me and lean the left chest back. Make sure there's presence of weight in the outer border of your back foot. Right leg is long. Stay here for another breath. Come back to center. Hands to the floor. Step from high plank to low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up dog, shoulders back. Exhale, hips are high, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 3 breaths. Breath in, breath out. Inhale and exhale. Good, one more breath in and let it go. On your breath in, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float lightly to the top of your mat. Breath in to lengthen chest forward. Breath out, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastiti, equal standing. Breath in, big sweep up. Bring your arms by your ears. Exhale, hinge down for forward fold. Take a breath in to lengthen. As you exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Place the ball of the heel to the floor. Place your block outside of your right leg. Left hand to the block. Start to straighten into your right leg. Pull your right hip back. Come onto your fingertips. Lengthen a bit more. Squeeze the right outer thigh back to midline. Right arm reaches overhead for Buddhavita Trikonasana. Keep lengthening the chest forward. Find a little bit more of a twist. Continue to squeeze the inner thighs together. Staying here for another breath in and a breath out. Place your right hand to your right hip. Take your hand to the block. Step at the top of your mat. Revolved half moon rising. Left leg is long. Right hip is firming in. Right arm reaches overhead. Take a breath in. Lengthen. Draw the crown of the head to the front of the room. Spin the ribs around. Lean the right shoulder blades right back. Staying here for another breath. Come back to center. Step to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Take a breath in to lengthen. A breath out. Bow it down. Forward fold. Inhale. Rise all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears. As you exhale, hinge right back down, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen chest forward. Exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Anchor into the heel of the foot. Place the block outside of your left leg. Start to straighten into your left leg. Left hand to left hip. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Left outer hip spins in. Left arm reaches overhead. Come onto your fingertips to lengthen. Find more of a rotation, revolution of your ribs around your spine. Continue to hug your left hip back, right hip pulls forward. Lengthen when you breathe in, twist when you breathe out. Left hand to left hip. Bend, bend, bend into your left knee. Bring your block in front of you. Start to straighten into your left leg for revolved half moon rising. Left arm reaches out to the side. Lengthen when you breathe in. Find more of a twist. Shoulder blade on top of shoulder blade. Another inhale and an exhale. Inhale. Come back to center. Settle your right foot next to your left. Take a breath in to lengthen, chest forward. Breath out, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastiti, equal standing. Take the block. This may be new to some of you. Place the block around the center of your mat. Bring your hands in front of you and step on the block. Bring your toes together, knees out to the sides. Bakasana crane pose. If this has eluded you for a long time, perhaps having your hips elevated a little bit because of the placement of your feet on the block will allow a little bit of an easier entrance. Hands to the floor. Lift your hips up, squeeze the inner thighs towards your outer arms, bend your elbows slightly, pull your way forward, and perhaps you get a little bit of lift off of your toes off the block. You can always just settle them back down. Just give it a whirl, but keep pressing down to lift the spine up to the ceiling, pushing down to lift up. Eventually, you can settle your feet back to the floor, to the blocks. Everybody come off of the block. Sink down. Come on to your sitting bones and bring the block back to your thighs for boat pose Navasana. This gives you a little bit more of an engagement. Belly engaged as you pull the navel right into the spine. Squeeze the thighs into the block. Lift the chest up towards your thighs. Arms reach diagonally in front of you. Perhaps you can even straighten your legs, but keep squeezing the block. Lift up and lengthen for another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly, slowly, slowly lower all the way down. Take the block away from between your thighs. Bend your knees and give yourself block. At the mid setting is usually my favorite. Not the lower back, but just below it, your sacrum. And bring your legs up towards the ceiling for Viparita Karani. So here's where the block comes in as a nice support. Elevating your hips allows a little bit more of an ease in the pose. You can settle the shoulders to the floor. Feel the presence of the backs of the arms and the backs of the hands on the floor. Feel the back of the head anchored into the mat. Feel your toes go lighter. You can either stay here, or because the hips are elevated, bring your palms down by your sides, lift the hips up for a plow pose. If your feet don't touch the floor, please bring your hands at your lower back. Make sure the block is away from the mat when you roll down one vertebra at a time. Bend your knees into your chest. Drop your knees over towards the left, right arm out to the right. Pull your right hip forward and settle your right shoulder to the floor, softening into your breath. Come back to center. Swing your hips a little to the left. Breathing here for a few more breaths. Eventually coming back to shape that's comfortable for you. And whenever you're ready, bring movement into your body. Obviously, you can stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. Otherwise, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists. Draw your arms long behind you. Take a full long body breath, yawn in. Open mouth breath out, let it go. Bring your knees together, roll over onto your right side. With your eyes closed, press your way into comfortable seated position at the tops of your mats. Bring the hands to press together at the center of our chests. Take a deep breath in, draw the heart right into the heels of the hands. Open mouth breath out, let it go. Honoring the light in you that is the light in me, I thank you so much for sharing it with me. I'm Teri. These are blocks which can be your best friends. Have a great day.